Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Norristown High School on a bitterly cold January night. My name is Joe Hyland, and along with Bob Koch, we will be bringing you tonight's game between the Plymouth Whitmarsh Colonials and the Norristown Eagles. The Eagles are coming off a very nice win against a scrappy, ornery Methacton squad, and they hope to continue their winning ways against the always tough Colonials coached by Laurie Strausser. This is going to be a nice test for the Eagles. As we mentioned during our last broadcast, Coach Webster is slowly and surely reconstructing the program, and this game I think will be a good test to see just how far that reconstruction has come. The Eagles lost a squeaker during their last game against the Colonials, and there were some very controversial calls down the stretch which many people think cost the Eagles the game. However, to Coach Webster's credit and to the team's credit, they did not use that as an excuse. Plymouth Whitmarsh comes into the game at 9-8, and they are, in a word, a two-girl gang, namely Jenna Lasciavo and Tara Magnus. Those two young ladies scored over 80% of the Colonials' points against the Eagles over at Plymouth Whitmarsh. The Eagles have got to know that the Colonials are a two-girl gang, and hopefully, and I anticipate them to Coach Webster to adjust his defense accordingly. PW is coached by Laurie Strausser, a graduate of Lehigh University, now in her 5th year at the Whitmarsh facility. The Colonials will start Lasciavo and Magnus, along with Jenna Rocky, Lauren Aiken, and Vicky Ice. I'll make a prediction. If the Eagles hold Lasciavo to under 15 points, the Eagles will win this ball game. And that's going to be tough. It's going to be very tough because Jenna brings the total package. She's a very strong young lady. She's quick. She can shoot. She plays great defense, and she understands the game. As she goes, so go the Colonials. This would be a big win for the Eagles this evening if they can pull it off. However, it's going to take a ton of good, sound, hustling basketball. But if the Eagles do come away with a win or even a competitive loss, I think it bodes well for the program. Now to bring us up to date with regard to the Norristown Eagles of Coach Webster, Bob Koch. Bob.
A lot of things to say, Joe. The lineup is going to stay the same. That has been for the last couple games. No surprises there. But offensively for Norristown, they're going to look inside Ashley O'Donnell. That's going to be a key, and that's been the story all season. However, the same concern is if the ball's dumped inside Ashley, can other players pick up the slack and score from the perimeter? Can Lamara Hinton do it? Can Dandria Ball-Myers do it? Letitia Carroll? Those are the players in Bass. Can those players step up and score the perimeter? Previously, Plymouth Whitmarsh has a specific player whose job is to come in, double down on her, and pick up the fouls on Ashley, and they're willing to do that because, quite frankly, there's been a problem at the foul line. Ashley was 5 for 17 in the last game. Has not done well consistently on the line, and that's a sore spot and something that she has to address. So they recognize that Norristown does not have a perimeter game. Dump it down to Ashley, and if you foul her, she may miss the foul shot. So it's really a win-win situation defensively for Plymouth Whitmarsh. Someone has to step up on the perimeter and look to shoot and make the shots. Okay? There hasn't been that consistency there. On the defensive end, I see this as pretty simple. You have two players who can score. They're a two-player team. You have 5 players defensively, 5-on-2. You have to be successful. PW does not have an inside game. Lasciavo is excellent on the foul line. She's a perimeter shooter and a three-point shooter. You take your best defensive player, deny her the basketball, force her to get it where she doesn't want to get it, make her shoot off the dribble, make her work to get that, and that shooting percentage drops big time. Now, Coach is going to start out with a 1-2-2. A little surprised with that, but he feels that he's going to put a player on that and constantly focus on that. But you have a player who has a three-point range, and your 1-2-2 is going to be very strong at the elbows and the top of the key, but it's going to be weak in the corners. Lasciavo can shoot threes in the corners as well. So we'll see how that plays out and see if they're going to be successful with it. If they burn it then he's going to go to his person-to-person. It'll be interesting to see who he puts on Luciano, because they had 41, I believe, of the 44 points. As you said, most of those points, 2 players, Joe, should not beat you. I mean, she had the last 7 possessions in the first game. She was on the foul line to win it. This was the controversial game that you alluded to.
Yes, indeed.
So I know it's a rivalry thing. You just lost it. You need this game. This is an important game because it is Plymouth Whitmarsh. It's one of those things as a coach and as a player that your adrenaline gets more intense because you know the players. And this is a game they need to win. They should have won the first one. They could have certainly. They need to win this one. They need to play well and put this in a W column. I would not say that this is a game, even if they play well, that they lose. I know you think that would work, but this team has not won many games. That is Norristown. They need to win, and this is one, in my opinion, they have to expect to win. Anything less than that, with the talent that Norristown has across the board, I think they have to win this.
I got you. Well, in a pregame conference with our pregame conversation with the Plymouth Whitmarsh coach, she indicated that the key to the Colonial success this evening, not surprisingly, is to stop Ashley O'Donnell down deep. So that'll wrap up our pregame. We'll be back with the opening tip-off, the introduction of the starting lineups, and the playing of our national anthem right after this short break. Thank you. All right, welcome back, everybody, to Norristown High School. Joe Hyland along with Bob Koch. We're about to start tonight's game between 2 neighborhood rivals, the Norristown Eagles against the Plymouth Whitmarsh Colonials. Bob, I look for a interesting game tonight. It'll be interesting to see how and if Norristown keeps under control the 2-girl gang of Jenna Lasciavo and Tara Magnus. I predicted before the game that if they hold Lasciavo to under 15 points, they should win the game.
I'm certainly in agreement there. I don't think players should score 41 points of the 44 that were scored against you. I don't think 2 players should do all that scoring, particularly as perimeter players. 1 inside, 1 outside, I might be more flexible, but not when they're perimeter players.
Number 21, Jenna Rossi.
All right, number 21, Jenna Rossi.
25, Jenna Rossi.
Number 3, Taylor Magnus. Number 25 is Jenna Lasciavo.
Lauren Aiken.
Number 31, Lauren Aiken.
And number 33, Vicky Fitt.
And number 33, Vicky East.
The pronunciation of your names. If you're not Brown, Green, or Smith, I have a hard time with it. And now starting for Norristown. Number 33, Lamara Hinton.
Number 33, Lamara Hinton, who's going to play a important role tonight.
Number 24, Drea Ball-Myers.
Number 24, Drea Ball-Myers. Both those young ladies had a very good game against Methacton.
Her role, Joe, is hit the boards and play defense. She's not going to score a lot of points from the perimeter. She can give you the baskets underneath and hit you out on the boards and play defense, and that's a great job.
Yep. Letitia Carroll, Miss Bass, and Ashley O'Donnell round out the Norristown starting 5. We're now going to have, I assume, the playing of our national anthem.
One of the officials has arrived.
I would ask that everyone please rise for the playing of the national anthem.
would point out, Joe, there are more people from Plymouth Whitmarsh in the stands than Norristown, and that's a definite at this point. Behind us, there's 2 people, and across, a lot of PW parents, and just a few Norristown people.
I agree.
The officials did arrive, and they were taken upstairs to change. I would think the JV officials will start the game.
Yes.
Or the
These
officials
assignments are made by a gentleman by the name of Walter Yost.
Yes.
Who is the assigner when it comes to PIAA matters in this area.
Walt was doing that when I was coaching decades ago.
Okay.
He's been around doing the assignment for a long time. I think, Joe, we're going to have
a delay.
Some warm-up time until the officials can change and stretch. Thankful to the 2 officials that stayed because it's their time.
For the varsity officials, which just showed up, and because of their contract, they can't do it now that they're here. So we will wait for the ladies to suit themselves up.
Well, if there's one thing that always frosts me, whether it's personal or even in my professional life, is when people are late for appointments. There's absent a good excuse, I find that intolerable. It's something that bothers me.
I think they must have both felt the game was a 7:30 game. And I think a lot of schools have stayed with 7:30, but we've gone to the 7 o'clock. But again, that's when you examine your schedule. And
sure.
You have to check and double check.
There was an interesting game on Wednesday, Bob. The Eagles played Methacton, and there was a performance by the Methacton guard by the name of Lauren Hammond that it was absolutely spectacular. She was absolutely terrific. She hit like 5 threes. She made at least 6 steals, and she almost single-handedly kept Methacton in the game.
At the 1 or 2 position.
She was the point guard.
My coach said that he changed his mind. We're going to go man when we start.
Okay, here's going to go man.
Well, we're.
Okay, what's your problem tonight?
I'm suspended. I missed the game.
I'm sorry to hear that. All right, thanks for telling me. He must have Coach has just informed us, Joe, that he's going to start out man. He must have heard the pre-tape.
Right.
See, Joe,
if he listens to the pre-tape, he's a wise man.
Yes, I don't know, but Joe, certainly, I mean, I've been out of the team part of it for 7 years, but three-point line has been around for a few years now. And when you do your scouting and your preparation, and you know who the three-point shooters are, you know that you have to play a little bit closer. And there's all kinds of ways you compensate. And no matter what you're in, man or zone, maybe you don't help down as much, maybe you don't help out as much, because you have to be conscious of the player that you're guarding, who's a three-point shooter, getting the ball back. You keep making adjustments. You cheat a step or two. You make the player go further out. I just don't believe at this level that the teams are that good and the offenses and the players that good that they can beat you consistently with threes if the defense and the person-to-person plays it correctly. At the college level and the pro level, because the coaching and the offenses and the skills are so good. At this level, you're kidding me. I don't see it.
Well, just watching the Colonials warm up, La Chiavo is draining threes. 80% of her shots are going in. So if Norristown gets somebody in her face, I mean, let me put it this way, Norristown has got to get somebody in her face.
All right, now my point is the coach probably watching that, as you pointed out, watched it and said, look, now he said he was going to go 1-2-2, and I said I didn't like it. You notice she's going to the corner? If your three-point shooter is the top of the key or the elbow player, your 1-2-2 is going to be successful. But if that player makes the adjustment, goes to the corner and makes threes, your 1-2-2 is vulnerable in the corners. Unless the box player can get out there quickly enough to get hand in the face, you're in trouble.
And I don't think Norristown has somebody who plays the box that is that quick.
Right, and it's the quickness and certainly the competency. You have to know what your assignments are in that defense. And Joe, if you know good man-to-man defense, you can play any zone. That's a simple thing. If you know your mans, you can play a triangle and 2, you can play a box and 1, you can go a 1-2-2, you can go matchup. If your players understand person to person, you can play the zone. But sometimes the players don't understand it, and putting them in a zone situation doesn't complement them.
Well, I would think that Coach Webster, having seen the game over at Plymouth Whitmarsh and having seen Magnus and Lasciavo score 80-90% of the points, has got to know, as you said in the pregame. I mean, it's a two-girl gang, and two players shouldn't beat you. It's 5-on-2 defensively for the Eagles.
And you've heard me say in this previously that most teams are 2.5 offensive players.
Exactly.
2.5. Exceptional teams are different, but most teams have 2.5 scores. And that half score is usually a player that scores inside, beats you off of some boards, not a move player, not a real threat. It's going to get 6 or 8 points, 10 points. But when you have 2 players like PW who are perimeter players,
yes,
they don't have, based on the first game, they don't have the inside player like an Ashley O'Donnell where they can dump in, kick out. You should be able to handle those players. And I'm going to come back to it. Very few players at the high school level can shoot effectively off the dribble or create to elevate. 3 words, create to elevate. A lot of players can create off the dribble to attack and penetrate, but how many can actually create off the dribble and beat you quickly off the floor? We haven't seen many this year, Joe.
Well, if I didn't see the first game, and I don't know how Lasciavo scored her points, but she seems to be what they call a spot up jump shooter, or a spot up set shooter.
Do you notice all her shots are she's catching it, it's spot up, it's not off a dribble.
Right. That's right.
She's practicing, they're not off a dribble going right or going left. That's a much more difficult shot. See, my thought, I would play her probably 3 feet past the arc. And then if she drives to the basket count, her greeting card's going to be Ashley O'Donnell or somebody else. And see if anybody else can beat them inside. I can't imagine there's anybody on that team that can beat Ashley inside. Or Dandria, for that matter.
Right.
So they have to beat you. And every shot she's taken is from the 3-point line. She just took it off the dribble, and you notice she missed it?
She missed it, right. Like they say, it should be an interesting game. Now, what sort of an effect, Bob, does a delay like this have on a team, if any?
I know how we would approach it. It's, first of all, you're feeling a little tight as a coach because it's a rivalry and because you need to do well, and it's a rivalry, and that always changes, I think, the complexion of how you coach and how you feel. You feel it, and there's no question. You get a little tight inside, and I would approach this very positively. All right, we get some more shooting warm-up. When the officials come out, it doesn't hurt or help anybody. Okay, we get some more, and we may take a couple minutes, but it's going to take them a couple minutes, PW players too. So maybe the plus is that coach has seen the warm-up enough and decided to change his mind defensively as to what they're going to do. So maybe that's one of the benefits of having the additional time waiting for the officials.
All right, here come the Zebras.
I've had both of those officials. Don't ask me names because I never, Joe, I will tell you, 30 years no technicals. I never check with officials. They did their thing, I did my thing. But I had these in the Catholic League for years, and they've done obviously PIAA for years. But they're veterans. They've been at this a long time. I just happened to see 2 of the officials that did one of the games here recently on the women's side. I was at Philly U last night watching Philly U play team from New York. And 2 of the officials that have done the games here were doing a college game at the Division II level. Did a nice job. As a matter of fact, what are the odds? As I'm talking about that, Coach Shirley from Philadelphia University just walked in the door. I mean, that's uncanny. I'm just talking about Philadelphia University, and the head coach walks in the door. I guess that's a good omen.
Sounds like the Twilight Zone.
But for what? I don't know what it means. I know it sounds good, but is this going to bring us luck on something, Joe?
I don't know. Hope it brings luck to the Eagles. O'Donnell against East.
Now, who is he here to see? That's the question mark.
O'Donnell against East. All right, this should be a good one.
Now, let's see what they have on the set. Okay, we should control the tap, and the ball should go to Lamara. See, Joe.
All right, Magnus walked. Turnover for the Colonials.
When your
Norristown's
player like
ball.
Lamara has the inside position on that, she has to get the ball. She has to get the ball. I don't know why that ball will be tapped that far and almost lose it.
PW in a 1-3-1, Bob.
But see, we're still in the same boat here, Joe. Players have to look to shoot the ball or drive, as Lamara did. You're not seeing Letitia or Bass look to shoot the ball. They become passing players.
All right, Eagles draw first blood. Lasciavo on the right wing. Aiken to Magnus. East. Back to Magnus on the point.
Now, Magnus had 18 points, I think, in the previous game, Joe, and that surprises me.
They've assigned the task of holding down Lasciavo to Lamara Hinton.
And she's more than capable of doing that.
She certainly is.
She's going to do a lot of running tonight because Lasciavo isn't going to stand still.
All right, Norristown, very patient. Bass.
See,
Three-point
that's what
shot.
has to be done.
That takes a lot of the pressure off Ashley inside.
Yes.
5-0 Eagles.
We're up 5-0, and Ashley hasn't touched the ball. See, here's a good thing. PW has now 3 turnovers in 3 possessions. That's a good thing.
They look for Ashley inside.
And they have to. She has to touch the ball.
Inside. Nice spin move.
That's a beautiful play. That's a beautiful play. It's like a design play. D-Sor, Ashley was in the right spot, and she used her left hand, Joe.
Nice quick move.
And that's, I would think.
Lauren Aiken answers back for the Colonials. 7-3. Eagles.
That's it. Start over. Start over. Now see, she's going to cheat on that, Joe. You can see that happening. She's going to cheat on it.
Number 31, Lauren Aiken.
Now my next question is, who's guarding her? 2 uncontested shots.
7-5 Eagles. There's Bass. Long with a jump shot. Rebound Colonials. Here comes Magnus. Number 21 is Jenna Rocky. Magnus, top of the key. Aiken. Third uncontested shot. Ties it at 7.
That's unacceptable, Joe, because the defensive player who's DB at this time is not doubling down to help out on anybody. She's responsible for that player.
Bass short with a jump shot. All right. Colonials have clawed their way back into this game, 7-7. They were down 7-zip. Aiken has brought them back single-handedly. All right, Lasciavo drives inside, draws a foul.
Foul ball, Myers with first, team first.
Now, Joe, defensively, should that happen?
You'll always deny the baseline.
Well, yeah, you just, number one, got beat baseline,
Yep.
right? Number two, the help side player, by design, is supposed to stop the player before she gets to the paint.
All right, Lasciavo misses two.
Now, who made that pass, Joe? Was that Ashley?
I believe that was Letitia Carroll.
Cole Woodard, Lucene.
Yeah, Letitia Carroll made a very slow pass. And number 21, Generaki, was on it like a hawk. All right, here's Hinton with the rebound. She double dribbled. Good call by the ref.
There's
Boy,
so many
the
things.
Norristown offense was percolating so nicely in the first minute and a half. And now the wheels have fallen off a little bit. It'll be the Colonials' ball underneath their own basket.
And the thing is, Lasciano hasn't scored. Right? Lasciano has not scored,
Nope.
and they're up. They have 9 points with 3:36 left in the first quarter.
First, team first.
She hasn't even taken a shot. Oh yes, I'm wrong. She did. She got to the foul line for two, and she drove and was fouled.
That foul was on Vicky East. E-I-S-S. Eagles continue to fritter away chances here. Magnus. 11-7. Eagles down 4, 3 minutes left to play in the first quarter. Eagles offense has stalled. Here's Letitia Carroll. In and out.
Ashley has not been a factor with 2 minutes and change left in this first quarter, Joe. Well, Mary got beat on that one.
13-7. Nice play inside Ashley O'Donnell.
I think the Eagles have to work harder at penetrating and splitting the zone. There's no gap penetration with the dribble. You have to keep squeezing the gaps on the zone. And she's not going to beat you. You see that? 33 is not going to beat you.
All right, Courtney Blake into the ball game. Out goes Shamira Bass.
Well, see, look at that.
Nice steal by Courtney Blake.
She didn't have her player, Joe.
No.
She didn't have her player. She was out on Lasciano instead of where she was supposed to be. Oh, my gosh. Now, Joe.
Inexcusable pass.
Pass, receive angle. Pass, receive angle. See, I was just going to say to you, Joe, prior to that, that I didn't like this substitution for this reason. Whoever's going to handle the point has to penetrate and be careful of the passes. And you have to know where 25 is all the time defensively.
Yeah.
She saw that. That's 2 she's picked off. 1 off of Ashley and this one. And that led to an easy 2 points.
Eagles narrow it to 5, 15-10, a minute 17 left. All right, nice hustle inside by Dandria Ballmeyer. Eagles get it. Eagles get a light.
Girls, come on. There was nobody even playing defense on that, Joe. It's not going to beat you. She shot it with the left hand. Now get that board. Now don't handle it. Don't handle it. See? That's where your point guard takes the ball and says, I want it, give it to me.
All right, 15-10, Eagles down 5. Lamara Hinton. Colonial still in that 1-3-1 zone. She brought the rebound down instead of going back up.
Yes, and this could be a critical play because there was 53 seconds left. They may score out of this. Ashley gets the board. Now you need to score here.
30 seconds left to play in the first quarter.
See, here's my concern with Lamara at the point. She makes no penetration. Unless it's a drive.
Come on, lady, that's a foul.
12 seconds left. They headed to Aiken.
It's on Ashley.
Ashley over the top.
Let's see, Joe. Defensively, we're still giving too many looks. Letitia has to know where her player is. Have to stay low.
All right, 3 seconds left.
And here's the amazing part. She just got that shot off with nobody in her face.
Nobody, absolutely
Now,
nobody.
You could see that, and I could see that. She was spot up there.
All right, that ends the first period. 15-10 the Colonials. Norristown jumped off to a 7-point lead, 7-0, and the Colonials came back because the Eagles let them come back with bad passing, poor ball handling, and the Colonials are too good to do that against.
There's no doubt, and again, their coach has been with her program 5 years, and she's able to compensate for deficiencies with 2 players, 3 players, and they're where they're supposed to be defensively. She's got them skilled to really key on Ashley O'Donnell. Lasciato's got a steal or 2. We're not at that spot yet, and I'm going to continue to harp on this. We don't have a player who steps up offensively or defensively and says that's the end of it. Someone defensively to say they're not going to score or they're going to work really hard to do it. Do you see that team leadership out there?
No.
I don't see anybody step up.
All right, now
that emerges as the leader.
All right, Eagles ball.
You see,
there's Courtney Blake. Nice shot, 3-point shot. Courtney Blake brings the Eagles within 2. That was a nice shot.
Much needed, Joe.
All right, you have Dara Webb on Lasciavo.
I think that's a mismatch. I think 25 will use her smarts.
Dara Webb. You know, you're right, Bob. She does not make her own shots. She does not make her own. She does not make her own shots.
No, it's off a screen or spot up.
Eagles were lucky there. Into Ashley. Nice play, Ashley O'Donnell.
That is one heck of a play because she was almost underneath the basket. She couldn't use the backboard and made it. So it's 6:35, Joe. It's 15-15, second quarter. Oh. You have a
55 to an elbow. Ashley took an elbow.
Did you see it, Joe?
Yes.
I didn't see it.
I saw it.
I was looking down the other end. So obviously, Coach Webster agrees with you, and Ashley is not a happy pup right now.
No, I saw that. She got it right in the face.
Yeah. Design play again. Good.
All right. Dara continues to hawk La Schiavo. There it is.
Oh, see? That's not a. Ooh, that is so unacceptable.
She didn't fight through the screen.
No, and she left so much space for her to get that shot off. That's 5 points, Joe, that should not be on the board because of mistakes. Almost another one.
That's okay. Shut up. Make them go.
Foul game in the first to third.
All right, foul on number 55, Katie Diamond.
See, now the downside to this, Joe, is Ashley has to come out of the game.
Look at this.
I'm beside myself.
Bad defense. She trailing defense again. Courtney let her man beat her to the basket.
Joe, they're running the same thing. And here we go. Well, where's the player?
Right there.
Dara again didn't know where her player was.
D'Andrea Ballmeyers with a nice rebound, knocked out of bounds by La Schiavo. Again, she anticipated the pass, stepped in the passing lane and flicked it away. Eagles down 5 after a nice little comeback.
Do you notice 25 for them is talking all the time? Someone who's stepping up for them, she walked. She walked. You could see that coming.
Hinton back into the game.
All right, Lamara Hinton's back into the game. She'll latch herself on to La Schiavo, presumably.
Yeah, you see, and I think Ashley's got to get back into this game ASAP. You're down 5.
Dara Webb. All right, it's Lamara's back on La Schiavo.
Now, see, I think that's a better match. Dara with 3, because
all right, 44 is Chandrea Rouse. In a scramble under the board, she picks up her first foul.
Fouls on Rouse, the first to fifth.
see, okay, Ashley's coming back in. I think Dara should stay with 3 and Lamara stay on Luciano and then go from there. In the back door. You could see it coming. You could see it coming. Lamara has to see that, Joe. That's the 16th foul for us.
Yep. Lasciavo's constantly in motion, always looking to get open, and her teammates are smart enough to get her the ball.
Okay, well, there you go. Now it's 4 team fouls for them. You have to control the ball, Joe.
4:20 left to play in this first half.
Now, you should pick her up right from the get-go. Make her work that handle. Good matchup there, not a scorer. So you notice they're not going to beat you off the dribble. They're not going to beat you that way. See, that wasn't an offensive skill to beat you, Joe.
No, that was an absence of defensive ability.
Right.
No doubt about it.
Fouls on Webb. The
All
first
right, Tara will shoot a pair for the Colonials.
Magnus makes the first of 2.
She is the sister of Corsi Magnus, who is the mainstay of the Plymouth Whitmarsh Colonials men's team.
Bocci back into the game.
Lamara with a tough rebound. Looks to drive.
Nothing happened.
All right, she drew a foul. It was 2-on-3, Bob. Wise play to go to the basket, or should have pulled it out?
Absolutely not. She got the foul out of it, but the official called it late. I think she was going to ignore it because she wasn't sure. But you appreciate the hustle, but again, it has to be advantage, and she has to make these.
Ball spills out.
The first of 2.
Hinton can narrow it to 5. Drops in the second. 21-16 the Colonials. 3.5 minutes left to play in the first half. They have Letitia Carroll.
God, we have a bad matchup here. We have a bad matchup.
Got away with that.
I don't know how that happened, but I don't like that matchup. She'll chew Letitia up on that.
Nice play inside. Ashley O'Donnell cuts it to 3. Nice quick move inside. She really
Ashley, the left hand. If she can't shoot left-handed, it's not going to happen. I don't like this matchup, Joe. Dara's good on 3, but I don't like what we have on 25. Too strong for her.
All right. Offensive foul on the Colonials. It'll be the Norristown's ball. Moving pick, I believe. All right, it's 21-18. Eagles down 3. 2:50 left to play in the first half. It looks like that Ashley has been working on that quick move to the left in practice, and she's had 3 of them tonight.
I think she has 6 points tonight, Joe. Is that what we have at this point? 6 points. More importantly, though, are the touches. She has not touched the ball much tonight. There's been a couple turnovers, but they're not looking to her, or if they are, they're not making the pass to get it to her. I think when you have a Rouse in and a Ballmeyers in, they have to hit the boards and play defense. There has to be an area that they contribute. If it's not points on the boards and defense, don't get beat defensively.
There's that left-handed move again. Ashley O'Donnell narrows it to 1. 21-20.
A weakness now. That's 3 times that Ashley has scored on that spot. Now, at this time, buckle it up. I don't like it. But she's not going to beat you.
All right, foul on Lamara Hinton.
See, and that's 1-on-1. You just put them. I was just going to say, Joe, we don't want to turn it over. You don't want to give up layups, uncontested shots, and you don't want to foul.
Notice, Bob, the point guard went over to talk to the coach.
All the time.
Here's Jenna Rocky. Makes the first.
Rush making the first of a
See, that's a
1-1.
freebie, Joe.
Yeah.
A mental, physical mistake puts them on the line for maybe 2 points.
All right, 22-20. The Eagles can tie it with a basket.
You see that high dribble? It takes you nowhere. Get the ball down.
Colonials in a 2-3. Ooh, almost palmed the
Another
ball.
turnover. You're going to have another turnover. She touched it. Okay. She's got it.
All right, it'll be Norristown's ball. The referee who called the play didn't see the Colonial player touch the ball, so it'll be Norristown's ball. Out at midcourt, exactly 2 minutes left to play in the first half.
But see, they're putting themselves in that situation by not penetrating and creating the passing receive angle. You have to work at this, and look where she's reading that.
There's Dara Webb. Nice move down the lane.
You need to do more of that, Joe, because they can't have it both ways. Their strength, PW's strength is at the elbows with Magnus and 25. Their weakness is inside. Someone help her out. Someone help her out. No.
All right.
Control the ball. Plenty of time.
1 minute, 22 seconds left to play. Score knotted at 22. Inside to Ashley. Spin move, bingo. Ashley O'Donnell, count it, 24-22.
Letitia deserves credit. I think she has 4 assists in this game because of her passes to Ashley. She's the only one that's been able to make those passes effectively to Ashley.
All right, Lasciavo's posting up, Letitia. There's it.
She can't beat you. She should not beat you. See,
52 seconds left to play. 24-22. On the line is number 31, Lauren Aiken, who got the Colonials back into the game after Norristown had raced off to a 7-0 lead.
she has 8 points in this game, I think, Joe. Right? 31 has 8 points in this game. And unfortunately, she's taken DB to the cleaners. 9 points in this game.
24-24.
That's an 18-point game, Joe.
This game is shaping up like the first game over at Plymouth Whitmarsh. Right down to the wire. 43 seconds left to play. Bob, which team does the clock favor in some?
Slide underneath it. All right, lucked out because Dara got beat again. Now, you get the last shot, who's going to get it? And if it's not in Ashley's hands, certainly the Mariners got to look to it. You don't have the
10
perimeter
seconds
shooters.
left. Letitia. Rebound. Ashley O'Donnell with an offensive rebound and is fouled going back up. She'll shoot 2.
Joe, I'm going to complain here. 5.5 seconds left. If Ashley doesn't get that rebound, PW comes down and possibly takes the lead. The shot was taken too early. You've got to take that shot, I think, with less time on it. And give your rebounder a chance to rebound, but don't give them a chance to rebound and get down the court.
Gotta get that rebound. Gotta get that rebound.
24-24. Ashley could give the Eagles a lead going into the half.
See, Dara doesn't have to play that deep. You can't. She's quick enough to read it.
And she does. All right, Ashley's out of the game. Smart move. Smart move on the part of Coach
Now,
Webster.
see, the guard should be up pressuring here, Joe. The guard should be up.
5.
Dara. Look at that. Look at.
Good basket by Magnus.
That's woeful defense. Absolutely woeful defense on the part of Dara Webb. as a result of which Plymouth Whitmarsh, instead of Norristown, goes into the halftime with a 1-point lead.
Joe, I mean, the tape shows that, and there's no excuse for that. And all right, let's share the burden here. Where was the help side player? Where's the player who's supposed to stop and see that and stop the penetration?
She wasn't anywhere
There was
near.
nobody there to help her
Because
out.
they weren't watching the ball. They weren't watching the ball. They didn't know where the ball was. They didn't see Magnus scoot by Dara, and therefore they didn't help.
She went from foul line to baseline, Joe.
Which goes back to your theory that when you're on defense, you always have to see the ball. And that was not done. And as a result of which, the Plymouth Whitmarsh Colonials get a 1-point lead going into the half.
Joe, on that play, I think, and I'm not BSing here, I think you would take me off the ceiling. Literally, I would be off the ceiling on that play if that's the halftime play. If that happened, I think straitjacket.
Unobstructed run of the court, wire to wire, and she made the layup.
And they go in feeling, it changes the whole complexion. They go in feeling really good. They realize that you just gave up that kind of score. Norristown goes in with a whole different sight. Coach, instead of being really, I don't know what it'll be like, but I know it changes your whole coaching complexion, because you should have been up by 1, feeling good about that, and you balloon it, and the kids just know you just gave up a layup uncontested.
And the Ashley made that foul shot at the end, which
all right, now
she's been struggling at the line. She makes a foul shot to give them the lead, and they frittered it away.
Now here's a positive to a negative instead of the other way around. Ashley was taken out. We just said it, and you just said it. Getting her out of the game with 5.5 seconds left should have been a good move. If Ashley's on the court, that probably doesn't happen.
Good point. All right, we'll be back with the second half of tonight's game between the Norristown Eagles and the Plymouth Whitmarsh Colonials right after this short break. Welcome back to the second half of tonight's game between Norristown and Plymouth Whitmarsh. Eagles down a point, 26-25. The Eagles have managed to keep Jenna Lasciavo under some semblance of control, as Lamara Hinton and Letitia Carroll have worked very hard toward that end. Ashley O'Donnell has 11 points and has demonstrated great quickness inside while being hounded by no less than 3 Colonials. It's fair to say that Plymouth Whitmarsh has taken advantage of some lapses on the part of the Eagles, both defensively and offensively. Most notably, Dara Webb, whose defense, especially at the end of the first half, was absolutely inexcusable. Here we go. Colonials to inbound with a 1-point lead, 26-25. Norristown in a man-to-man. All right, here's a rebound, Ashley O'Donnell.
Let's go. Let's go. Rush the ball. Protect the ball.
All right. They've stretched that zone, Bob. The Colonials have on offense.
You see what's happening every time the ball gets rotated to the right side.
Here's Lamara.
She has to make that. That's the key, because Lasciano is doubling down on Ashley on everything that's that side. Then you have to make them hurt, and that's where Lamara Hinton or somebody else steps up and makes that shot.
All right, Lamara Hinton.
Third to first.
See, and there's where a mistake at the end of the half also hurts the Eagles. Dara did a nice job on number 3 on the time she was in there. Right now you put somebody else on, but because Dara didn't play the last 5.5 seconds smart basketball, she's going to watch for a while.
Yes, you're exactly
an
right.
An individual thing affects the team in so many ways, and I don't think some of these kids don't understand that.
All right,
there's a ripple effect.
Bass is back in the game. There's Letitia Carroll, did a nice job on Jenna Lasciavo. Dangerous pass, dangerous pass. Here's Hinton from the corner, swish.
They're going to need that. They're going to need to do that, because they're going to keep putting the pressure on Ashley, and they're taking their best player Luciano, I'm putting her on.
Yes.
Pull up the cover. It's
I don't think Letitia's the player you want. And you notice she gave up the dribble?
Yes, I did.
Realizing that the player that you have guarding her.
Good thing, good thing.
Norristown showing some pretty good defense here. There's just
See.
all right. Lamara Hinton over the top on the floor. It will not be a shooting foul. 27-27. Dara Webb in the game.
Foul, hitting her fourth.
That's Lamara's fourth personal foul.
And you know what, Joe? That is, it's not a shooting situation. It's a help side. That's where you move your feet and use your brain.
Here she is, all by herself. Spills out.
I just don't understand how you can be that open.
27-27. Lasciavo had a good look.
See, and you know what? No one's looking to shoot the ball. No one's going to look from the perimeter to shoot. See?
Offensive foul.
No, see, and I thought we caught a break there, Joe, because she was late getting there. And see, Glass has to do a better job seeing the angles.
If that was a bad call, and I'm not saying it was, it balances things out because I think the Eagles have been victimized by some questionable officiating. All right, Dara Webb hustling underneath.
Well, I think she, whether it sinks in or not, she has a lot of making up to do after that last 5.5 seconds. She should bleed herself out on this court for the last quarter and change.
Keep hustling there.
Again, the Eagles' Achilles heel continues to be from the charity strike.
Now see, here's a plus for the Eagles. The change that they just made, Aiken's out, so they lose the scoring, the 9 that she had, plus they lose the defense of her helping out on Ashley. Look up, look up. See, they're putting 4 players on Ashley. 4 players.
Nice rebound, Dara Webb. That's exactly right, Bob. I noticed that myself. There are 4 people around Ashley.
With their hands up. So the passing lane is almost, you're not going to do it.
Hands out, get big.
All right, Eagles by 2. All by herself. Bang.
Now, why would Letitia Carroll be over helping out instead of guarding her player? You can't do both.
Dara. Swish. Dara Webb with a 3.
Now you have to play smart defense.
All right, Eagles in a man-to-man. Letitia Carroll guarded by Lasciavo.
See, I don't like that matchup, Joe. I don't. I'm going to continue to say it.
Here's Ashley. Ashley O'Donnell with a putback. 34-30.
See, you know, Aiken's back in. Now you again have to recognize how things are changed.
Bass out of the game. Courtney Blake into the game. 3:41.
Let's go. Get big, Get big.
Letitia Carroll You know, the young lady is a terrific shooter, but she's not that quick. She's getting free. Norristown defenders are not fighting through the screen.
And perhaps the players are not talking on the screens, letting your teammate know. My issue is, and I've been saying it the last couple minutes, Letitia does not belong on 25. It's not a good match. She's stronger, she's smarter offensively than Letitia is defensively. It's not a good match.
Take your time. Take your time.
34-33, the Eagles by a pair. Lasciavo with a clutch three.
She's had 2 threes in this quarter, and they're uncontested threes. They're not off the dribble.
They look for Lasciavo, constantly cutting, constantly moving, looking for that open shot, that dead spot in the defense where she can spot up. She missed the shot off the dribble.
And it wasn't off the backboard either. She was in close enough to use the board.
Here's Letitia. Ashley, tough rebound. Draws a foul.
The plus is that someone else looked to take the shot. It was flat, and Ashley's in a position to rebound.
Fouls on number 31, Lauren Aiken.
You know where this game is going to go. It's going to come down to Ashley at the end for us, for the Eagles, and it's going to come down to Jen for PW.
They mentioned something in the paper today, either yesterday or today, about Ashley's inability to make her foul shots, and I believe the coach said it's almost a mental thing right now.
Well, part of it's technique too. That left hand is pulling off the ball way early. She's shooting it with one hand. You watch her left hand, Joe. She's pulling off the ball way early. That left hand should be riding the ball to almost the point of release.
Don't reach. Don't reach. That's it. Way to move your feet. Way to slide your feet.
Oh, nice drive.
Didn't use the backboard, Joe.
Didn't finish.
Didn't use the backboard.
It'll be the Eagles' ball.
White ball. I'm not sure on that, but that's. 34-33, Joe. 1:54, third quarter.
Another barn burner.
And Lamara's on the bench with 4.
Hit that. Hit that. There you go.
See.
Give and go.
Right, and
it gave and went.
Right. What she has to do is step out on that and drop back. Ashley has to recover to that, and Letitia has to pick up. What they did was switch, and it's not a good matchup. And she has to score.
Oh. Chandrea Rouse. Hustle on the offensive
yeah, she
board.
has to score on that. I said that every player has roles and a way they can contribute. And she's going to help you by hitting the boards and putting it back in as a score.
Don't reach. Don't reach. Keep it up. Allow your feet. That's it.
Yes, she just did what she did at the end of the first half. She went left, she beat you left.
All right, 36-35, the Eagles by 1. 54 seconds left to play in the third period. I mentioned, Bob, just when we started the second half, how the Eagles have somehow managed to keep La Schiavo under some semblance of control. As you said, you know, she does have trouble making a shot off the dribble. She relies on her teammates. She looks constantly for dead spots in the defense. She sets up there, and when she gets a good look at the basket, she's absolutely deadly.
Right, but first of all, she's in great shape because she's constantly moving.
Right.
Secondly, the defense has to communicate a lot more on the screens, and you know her shot area. Hello, you know the shot area. Beat her to the spot or get your hand in the face. She has not demonstrated the ability to shoot the ball effectively with someone's hand in her face. All the shots that she's made, nobody's in sight.
All right, they pack in that zone.
Now this is where the guards have to penetrate. You change that. See, it's not there. There's too many hands. You have to penetrate and make them come off on the penetration.
36-35. Here's Jenna. Almost a steal.
And
Ashley
Dara
O'Donnell
got
with a
beat
rebound.
again.
Yes, she did.
This should be pull back and you get the last shot. That's-
11 seconds. They pump it inside.
Oh my God, that's criminal. That's criminal. And a foul. And a foul. And a foul.
Dara Webb.
And it's a three-point shot, Joe. It's a three-point shot.
Foul on Webb for second.
It was a foul, Bob. It was
I know.
a foul.
Oh no, I'm not disputing. But again, it's not knowing where.
She'll drain these three. Dara Webb, an inexcusable mistake. I'm sorry.
But see, Joe, if this game is decided by a point or two and PW wins it, you're going to look back at the little things that have made big differences. That's 4 points that have been given up at the end of the half and the quarter because you didn't play defense correctly, and the same person committed a similar mistake back to back. Well, this is the kind of thing that drives you nuts as a coach. It drives you loony as a coach. 37-36. You had the lead with a couple seconds left and out of your control. Clock isn't even running and you're losing at the quarter.
Just like the end of the first half, they had a 1-point lead. Defensive lapse on the part of Dara Webb. Colonials go in with a 1-point lead instead of being at a 1-point disadvantage. At the end of the third period, it's deja vu.
Well, maybe someone will step up in the last quarter, both offensively and defensively, and be a leader. And I'm convinced it starts defensively. Someone steps up and buckles down and said, look, this is it. This is what we're going to have to do to be successful.
All right, you have Bass and Hinton in the backcourt. Lamar is in with 4 fouls. She's got to be careful. Got to be careful. They work a high-low.
Brother, the passing, it just drives me absolutely nuts.
Ashley O'Donnell, they work a high-low. We're on the seesaw.
Oh, Joe.
Look at this. Rebound Hinton. Aiken had a good look. She drained those in the first half.
Do you notice, Joe, we have had no fast breaks in this game. We've had no easy buckets. Everything has been off the inside, and it's another forced pass. And you see how we're still trailing instead of running to the front? And we gave up an easy bucket again. Uncontested shot.
39-38, Colonials by 1. They're
That's
trying to
two
force it in.
consecutive times because no one wants to pull the trigger.
All right, Eagles get a break there. Jenna Lasciavo traveled.
Lamara Hinton has to be the player that has to look for shots. You're not going to get it from Leticia. You're not going to get it from DB.
Lamara looks to drive, does drive, misses a layup, failed to finish. Here come the Colonials.
Leticia's running in slow motion.
Yeah.
Called a foul, I think. A white ball travel. I thought she was calling a whistle. It's a shame because she didn't handle that properly, Joe. You had a player out. That would have been the first solo in this game.
All right, Bass running the point. They swing it to Blake, over to Hinton. From the elbow, off the rim.
So DB has to help out. They doubled on Ashley on the box out.
Aiken misses that open shot.
See, again, Joe, who is guarding here?
I have no idea. Here's Bass. Swish. There's a 3 for young Miss Bass. Big shot.
You notice when she finished the shot, she gave a big breath and swoosh and like a sigh of relief.
All right, Colonials are going to call a timeout. Big basket by the young freshman.
Not only is that the point, Joe, the scoring, but it's a confidence booster, and it makes PW think, whoa, if you give this girl enough space, someone's going to have to cover her, and it's a timeout now. She's probably talking about, well, look, this girl can bury the 3. Maybe one less person is going to be doubling or tripling or quadrupling down to Ashley O'Donnell. Now, Keith has to be saying to his players, we've turned the ball over 3 consecutive times prior to that, trying to dump it in. How about getting some penetration? Drive. When they come up to help, give it to Ashley. And certainly, I think Lamara has to look for that perimeter shot. She's going to be big in the last 5 minutes and 28 seconds in this game. Keys, don't turn the ball over. Don't force it into Ashley. And whoever else is inside, if it's Rouse or Myers, they have to give you rebounds on both ends of the court. They have to give you rebounds.
You get the feeling, and I hope I'm wrong, you get the feeling that Lasciavo is just waiting to explode.
Well, it'll be interesting to see who's on her in this now. Leticia's out of the game. Now, who's going to be on her? I don't like this matchup either.
You have Dondria Ballmeyer on.
I don't like it.
We'll see how she does. They're trying to shake Lasciavo loose for that shot.
See, Magnus isn't going to beat you with a jumper. See it? You see where how the foot's moving? It's not going to beat you. That shouldn't happen, Joe.
Courtney Blake got beat, got burned, got scorched.
Almost a TO. Almost.
Here's Bass. Nice shot by the freshman. 43-41.
That'll put so much pressure on PW because now they're going to have to be conscious. She's feeling some confidence. Someone's going to have to come out and pick her up.
Hold up the picks. Hold the picks. Put your hands up. Hold up the picks.
Every move she scored, Joe, has been left-handed. Hello, left-handed. Almost turnover.
Oh, inside to Ashley. Turn. That high-low play's been working all night.
The last couple minutes, the momentum has shifted. Norristown's feeling confident, and Bass has been a catalyst for that. But we're still only a 3-point lead. We've scored 3 straight possessions with 2 threes.
We're an eternity away from that final buzzer. Got a lot of time. Oh! Lasciavo missed the 3.
I don't think she should be shooting the ball. Quite frankly, Joe.
Yeah, Bass has the hot hand from the outside. Right. If anybody's going to launch a 3, it should be Bass right now.
Make it count.
See, now I totally disagree with that call. If Hinton's on the floor, how does she pick up that foul?
I don't know.
Because she was in the paint and took the shot. She was in the paint, took the shot. See, if the foul occurred out there, then the play should have been dead. It's not a continuation. If the foul occurred in the paint, O'Mara Hinton was at the top of the key on the floor. So how does that happen?
All right, 46-45. The Colonials can tie it with a foul shot.
Right. That hurts Eagles a lot of ways. It hurts defensively, the possibility of your perimeter player. That makes it really tough. And someone who's smart enough to play 25.
Yep.
Magnus on the line.
I don't like the lineup. I think we have problems with what we have.
With their deadly from the line, fundamentally sound from the line. That could be the difference in this game, Bob.
You have no perimeter players out there except Bass. And the closer we get to the end of the game, the less likely she's going to be to shoot.
Nice shot, Courtney Blake from the left wing. Eagles hanging tough. 2:55 left to play in a I hate to keep ringing this bell, but she has not made a basket off a dribble or off a drive. She has not done it.
How is it we keep committing fouls in the same situation, Joe? Defensive footwork, get down, drop step, slide, move.
All right, Jenna misses her 3rd foul shot of the evening. Makes the second, 48-47.
See, this would be a good time to press the Eagles, too. You know what? Hinton's out of it. I wouldn't be surprised if you see some pressure. If Norristown has the lead, the pressure.
Bass. Oh, my. She's on fire. 50-47. A breakout game for the young lady, perhaps, Bob?
Yes, but until we can stop the drive. Trouble. We're in trouble.
All right, Ashley gets back. Here's Aiken. The Eagles with a 4-point lead, 2:07 left to play.
So much time.
Oh, my. All right.
See, now watch. I wouldn't be surprised if we get pressed here. 2:07, 47-51. Eagles have the lead, but I would think she's talking about pressure now and who you want the ball, which hands.
Who's gonna be able on the Eagles team to handle a smothering, frantic type of a
All right,
press?
I'll tell you what I would do now. I would keep Bass in, and she's going to be good enough on the perimeter. I will put Dara Webb in, okay? Say, Dara, you got to handle it. But again, you have to give her so many parameters. And I would diagram sheet. This is what we're going to do, okay? And everybody has to be reminded to come to the ball. If the player gives it up, let them know what the timeouts are, how many we have left. Make sure that Ashley and whoever else is out on the court comes to the ball, and you have to see your teammates and know if they're going to need help. Get the ball up and then run into your half-court offense.
All right, one heck of a game here. Eagles by 4, 2:07 left to play. Colonials called a timeout. We'll see
what they're doing.
We'll see if they're
no
not.
Pressure.
They're not. That's an interesting.
I would take off 8 seconds right here. 8 seconds before we get it up.
All right, they come out. Letitia Carroll to Courtney Blake. Here.
All right, so we just chewed up about 18 seconds. No shot, though. It's no shot.
That's Jenna Lasciavo's.
It's a shot. It's underneath. I didn't think so. It's not a shot. It's not a shot.
No. No, it was a reach. It was a reach on the floor. That's Jenna's second foul. Here's Courtney.
Now possession. What you don't want to have here is a turnover and a fast break, an easy bucket.
Right.
That's so important. That's her 5th foul. See, the plus side is, Joe, we just chopped up about 30 seconds. What my concern is, they're calling timeout.
30-second timeout. That was the 3rd foul on Lasciavo. Minute 26 to play.
If you're the Eagles.
That was my question.
All right, if you're the Eagles, offensively now, you're in a bonus situation on the next foul. The only shot you take is a layup. That's done, period. Second, control the ball. Everybody come to the ball, expecting to double up. So remember that even if you're feeling a little of the heat, you still have 5 seconds before you have to make the pass. So use it, and everybody see your teammate. If they're in trouble, come to the ball. Know how many timeouts you have left. If you need it, we'll take the timeout now. We want the possession. Know the possession arrow. The next possession arrow favors PW.
Okay, looks like Plymouth Whitmarsh is going into a man-to-man.
I think what they want to do is foul Ashley. I don't know what the 5 means. I don't. Now, just don't make the pass until they're in the.
All right. Oh, stripped.
I just got finished saying I don't want us to give up a layup, and she dribbled right into it.
1:15 left, and Jenna Lasciavo's on the line.
I'd make a substitution here. Squeeze the clock a little bit.
Makes the first.
Making the first.
Clutch player, doesn't surprise me a bit. Makes the second. 2-point game, 51-49.
Pressure. Here's the pressure. Okay, now here we go.
1-1.
One, that's appropriate. 1-1 left on the clock. A 1-1, Joe. And Batch has made the threes.
Team 7.
Make at least one of these.
All right, here's the freshman. Here's the freshman. Seeking to extend the lead to 3. And does. NBC, nothing but cotton.
First of a 1-1.
See, I wouldn't do any of that hand slapping. All that does is distract the player. She may make it, but she knows she made it.
Good point.
Now it'll come back to haunt you, won't it? See, possession arrow favors them, right? PW gets the ball. Okay, now.
All right, you know who the Colonials are going to look for a 3-point shot.
Who's on her? Right.
D'Andrea Ballmeyer.
Ashley can help out because 55's not a score. You know what,
there it is.
What she's going to do.
Look.
time.
It's tied up.
How do you get that open in a 15-foot spacing? How do you get that open?
Lazy defense. Inexcusably lazy defense.
I am totally confused, Joe.
All right, 52-52, and you just knew that a quality player like Lasciavo is going to step up at crunch time, and that's exactly what she did. She shook herself loose from her defender, had a good look at the basket, and hit the three.
How? I just don't understand how you get that open in such a short distance. And you know, you've been watching and playing the game. You know she wants the ball. She's going to shoot it. You have to get out on her.
Yep.
She was so open, Joe. You didn't even get a defensive hand in the face.
That's right. She had
The momentum clearly shifted with that shot now. Because now at the end of the game, if they have a chance to get the game winner, you know who's going to get it, and no one has stepped up to deny her the basketball. 5-point lead just went out the window.
She's a heck of a player. Give her credit.
Ashley has to keep posting. Ashley has to keep looking to get the ball.
40 seconds left to play. Game tied at 52.
I don't like it, Joe. I'm telling you, I'm feeling uncomfortable. She's got to pull it out. Pull it out.
There's Bass. Bingo!
Now, get your player. Get your player. Get your player.
16 seconds left to play.
See, the plus side to this, Joe, it doesn't beat you. You have a 3-point lead, it doesn't beat you. I would rather have her take that shot than the three.
Right.
Because now she's at the line, you still get the ball. You have 8 seconds, 5 of those before there's a violation. Okay? So you're in the driver's seat now. As long as you control the ball, they have to foul you. Right?
All right, 8 seconds left to play. Norristown up 3 on a clutch jump shot by the young freshman Bass.
Well,
big play.
Let's see how this plays out. 55-52. She goes to the line shooting 2. She has shot probably 50% tonight, 60%. She's been make one, miss one. Right? Now, you have to understand who has her. If there is a turnover, what's going to happen?
One heck of a ball game with 8 seconds left. Lasciavo on the line to shoot 2.
Yeah. On the rebound, they're going to foul right away.
Yeah.
Right? If she misses, they'll foul right away. Okay. Not comfortable, Joe. It's a lot of clock.
All right, that 3 is on.
Call the foul. I thought she was calling timeout.
All right. They fouled Bass. 5.5 seconds left.
Then going into the game.
Coach Webster calls a timeout.
No,
doesn't have that tendency to freeze the player?
Yes. Well, that's a coaching thing, and you certainly think that way. However, my concern now is if that's a senior, a veteran player, you call the timeout, you don't worry about it. But with a person who is feeling it, is deep breathing it, she may prove all of us wrong and make that shot. But,
she might.
Ideal if you had that team leader out there, they'd be talking to the players and say, look, 5.5, we're going to force the ball east and west, miss it east and west. You know who's going to get the ball. Deny her, don't foul her, okay, and get your hand in your face.
All right. two of the biggest shots, probably the two biggest shots in this young lady's very young life.
All you're doing now, Joe, is if she gets the ball, you make her go east and west. The more obstacles she has, the better it is.
4.
We're going to win it. We're going to win it.
Ashley O'Donnell. Ball game's over. Norristown 55, Plymouth Whitmarsh 53 in a barn burner. A great game.
All right. Now we're supposed.
And we got to talk about it.
Yeah, and we're supposed to stand up and face the mic now. That's what we'd like us to do because they see the empty court. So let's get out in front.
It's over. Rest the ball. They ain't coming back. It's over. Go ahead, try to beat the ball. It's over.
There's not much you're going to do with 0.8 seconds left on the clock anyway.
All right. The game's over. Norristown comes away with a very, very important win. 57-53. They evidently counted that last basket at the end.
Yeah, there was time left on the clock. There was time.
A breakout game for young Miss Bass. She played a whale of a game. She dropped 3 threes in clutch situations. Ashley O'Donnell was just terrific as usual, both ends of the floor. We saw some excellent outside shooting on the part of Jenna LaChiavo. She is a player. She is a player. There are some flaws in her game. In other words, we don't think that she can create her own shot, but you give her a good look at the basket and she is absolutely deadly. So we had the pleasure of watching a very talented young lady perform tonight here at Norristown High. It's a shame that more people weren't out here, Bob, to see this game. This was exciting. This is what PIAA Quad A Suburban 1 basketball is all about. Bob, your thoughts on this game?
Well, I know that I'm feeling it. I feel the adrenaline of it, and Bass certainly deserves a lot of credit. She stepped up at the end. She made 4 threes in the game. She made a critical foul shot at the very end. Certainly the importance of that rebound. More importantly, even if she doesn't make that rebound, if she doesn't make the shot after that, she got the rebound in his possession. There wasn't enough time to lose it at that point. So Ashley O'Donnell stepped up again on the boards, but there are certain core issues that this team has to face, and defensively, they're not going to go away. With the win or a loss, they're not going away, and until those things are addressed, it's still going to be some heartbreak with this team. So it's a huge one for the Eagles, but execution, and Lamara Hinton has to sit a good part of the game because of fouls. A player of athleticism and smarts needs to be on the court, particularly in this kind of game. I still think the team is searching for someone to step up and be the leader, and Basses did it, but it's only a 1 game and 1 quarter show. Whether she'll do it the rest of the season is another story. But every game that she performs, every game that she does something right, she's grown so much, and it sets the table nice. He's been saying all year he's looking for a point guard, and I think that's going to be the point guard of the future. With coaching and work, she's not afraid to take the 3. God bless, Joe. She took 3 at the end of the game with the money on the table on every shot, and she made them. And they weren't bounces, they were chords.
That's right.
So coach has to feel good about it, and maybe there's that historical justice. After losing the first game, they win this one, and certainly makes a nice weekend for them.
Absolutely correct. It was a lot of fun to broadcast this game. It was a heck of a lot of fun to watch this game. Again, Norristown with a very, very satisfying win over an arch rival, 57-53, Norristown over Plymouth Whitmarsh. Our next broadcast, I believe, is next Tuesday. That'll wrap it up tonight from Norristown High School on a very, very bitter, cold January night. Again, the Eagles 57, Plymouth Whitmarsh 53. For Bob Koch, this is Joe Hyland saying good night and good luck.